Hello friends, and welcome again to another episode of the Urban Homesteading Channel, our Weekend Build edition. If this is the first time you're visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. We appreciate you coming to see us again. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. In our drive to reduce our pile of of scrap to zero, we're going to do another scrap project. But this time we're going to give it an artistic flair, and we are going to use our laser. So what we're going to build today, we're going to use scrap and also cork that we have removed from a couple of bottles of wine.
A couple.
And create a wall of art for our kitchen, any room really, but we plan to put it in a kitchen, using scrap plywood, cork, and scrap dimensional lumber. So stick around. This will be a fun project, we hope and we think. And probably the trickiest part, if you don't have a bandsaw, will be to cut the corks, because you have to cut them, right? And Elpida is very happy because she loves the bandsaw, and she will spend some time with it today cutting those corks.
Maybe not all of them, but
Well,
a
we'll
good
see.
number of them for sure.
And as always, we show you how we do everything, and we're going to talk to you about tricks and tips. So today use just extra corks, dimensional lumber scrap, and plywood scrap. We build this wall art for really any decor, right? And I think Elpida wants to use it as functional corkboard. Is that part of the plan?
Yeah, we'll see how that goes, but otherwise it's still a beautiful piece of art.
So we're going to show you every step of how to build this, and also we're going to give you some tips and tricks on getting some difficult parts. Not getting them, but getting through some difficult parts, right? So what do you think, ladies?
Love it.
I love it.
It's gorgeous. One of a kind.
Excellent. Yes. So we have a piece of plywood that will give us the dimension we want, the overall dimension for the piece, right? And this will be the base. Everything else will be attached to this piece. And this is what dimensions we said?
18 by 22.
So we're going to cut this piece to an 18 by 22 piece, and we're going to use our table saw for this.
And this is just an arbitrary number we decided looked good for us.
So we have a piece of plywood that will give us the dimension we want, the overall dimension for the piece, right? And this will be the base. Everything else will be attached to this piece. And this is what dimensions we said?
18 by 22.
So we're going to cut this piece to an 18 by 22 piece, and we're going to use our table saw for this.
And this is just an arbitrary number we decided looked good for us.
So our first step to the build process is to cut the plywood to the correct dimensions.
Hold on.
Our 22 is the other dimension.
This is 18.
Oh, 18. So this is the width.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
And does
it's
it look
on the
good
mark.
to you?
It's on the mark.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
So we measured from this angle to the point where we want our next angle to go, and
we didn't measure, we marked.
we marked based on our board that we have there. We lined everything up. So I have this piece that I already cut off at a 45-degree angle, as you can see. So I'm going to line it up with my mark and then line my saw up with it to make sure that I'm on the right spot. Now, that moved a little bit, so I'm going to readjust. Hold on. There we go. And so then my blade should come out at the right spot. Okay? So I'm going to move that little block because it's a little in the way. And moment of truth, we'll see if I cut correctly.
Close it. Is it correct?
No,
What is incorrect?
there. Well, like if you line it up there, then the...
Okay, that's okay.
Okay.
You want to do the other side?
Right here. That way.
You think we need it? Go outside. It's easier to go outside.
Outside here?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to turn it so it's easier for you?
I was going to let you do it. Okay,
I'm just turning it.
okay.
Do you want this used again?
Well, let's see if we can make it close, but yeah. Okay, let's see what's happening there. Did we use the wrong things or?
No, we just have to
Okay.
bring it in. So let's do this one so that it's lined up.
A very loud compressor. Man, that's horrible. Can you ever get used to this? Really loud thing?
Right. Okay.
All right, so we made the frame, and the reason we did this way is it will just be easier. Now we're going to put the piece on top. It's going to be covered. We don't need to do.
I don't know.
All right.
We need to change out our brad nails though.
Yeah. Again, we're just putting glue. All right. Now we're going to put what is in essence our back on, and we're putting it on with the cap up or down. The cap down, right?
Yep.
So we're going
so
to
that it'll straighten it out.
right. Okay, hold it here. Try to align it there.
It's not aligned there.
By how much?
By like a quarter.
Okay. And I love our new Fortress, don't you?
Yeah.
This
it's
is
been
just awesome.
really great.
Okay, so this is very good. What adjustment? This is a little off.
Yeah, and this side is a little off.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, but overall, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, excellent. we're about an eighth off. We had a little overlap here, and the bandsaw did a very good job, right? In fact, very little sanding, if any, is needed.
Just a little to take hairs off, maybe.
But now we have a frame that looks really nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to continue the construction. So here we're starting our dry fit. We have been cutting the corks in half, or approximately in half, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be exact. This is
It's an eyeball.
art thing, right?
It's an eyeball with your bandsaw or whatever you're using.
Well, the bandsaw is a thing that will make this an easier process.
Oh yeah, this was so quick and easy to do.
So we're going to dry fit everything, and then we're going to glue them, right?
Yeah.
That is the plan.
And so right now I'm just kind of testing my layout, making sure that I have a nice distribution of the corks with the designs. Now I know you can buy online some of the corks that are very uniform, haven't been used, but basically we're upcycling with what we have already.
We scrapbook.
Yeah.
So we are making an engraving that will be the centerpiece of this wall decoration. This is going to go inside where the corks are, and it'll also be framed.
Engraving situation continues here, our laser cutting, and this will be part of our project today. Again, something we wouldn't have been able to do in the past. It is definitely a nice DIY tool. My experience since I have it is I've used it quite a lot, and I've made a lot of interesting things. So we want our art approximately in the middle of the piece. So can you put it there for a moment, please?
Sure.
So here is a rare instance in which we actually measured, but it doesn't have to be 100% exact. So the way we did it, let's remove that for a moment. Elpida measured the half point between
From here to here,
width
here to here,
and length.
I made the mark.
And then we took the dimensions of our engraving, and we halved the width and we halved the length,
So
and we added two small marks there, right?
there and
Yep.
there. And we got lucky, this actually lined up with where that piece ended. And so then all you have to do is do that, and it's lined up with the mark, and it's lined up with the mark, and now we're on center.
Okay. So that's a small tip for you guys.
Yep.
So we decided to stain the frame. We think it will give it a little more depth, right?
Yeah.
So that will be the next step, because we have to let it dry a little bit, but we can start doing other things as well, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're setting up, wear your gloves, and our favorite way of doing stain.
Are you gonna do it? Okay, you can do it. So we're staining the frame of the piece. Just doing that dark stain we like to use a lot. It's gonna bring out the grain, as you can see. And probably a single coat will be sufficient for this project. I don't want it to be super dark, but I think this color is gonna make it really nice. And we're not gonna do this centerpiece, we're just gonna do the frame itself on the inner lip and then also on the outside. And the reason why we're not doing that board is because we have to glue everything into the middle.
So the next part is we're going to put the art part of the frame in the frame, and we're going to use hot glue for that.
little off, but. And as you can see, we used this square to make sure that we lined it up to make sure we were even,
Yep.
and not off center.
All right,
Yeah.
excellent.
So that looks great. Next is
And I would actually hot glue this part too.
The frame?
The frame. It's
Okay.
up to you.
That's fine. Now we just need to cut our pieces.
Yeah. And here is our dry fit with the internal frame. And we decided to do what's called a continuous frame, right? Rather than miters. Again, it's a matter of preference. You can make miters here if you so choose. We try to give it a lot of artistic flair and have everything different, kind of.
Right, and we also made this in a shadow box type thing, so it gives it a little depth for the piece.
Okay.
Okay, so we have our frame pieces stained now, and for this purpose we left a couple of sides not stained so that we could have them adhere correctly. The ones that will be shown are actually stained. So I'm going to take the glue gun and run my line down and then put that in place. Just going to hold it for a couple of seconds. Then do the next one. And there's a little bit of bleed out on this side, but because we have those corks that are going to go in there, none of that's going to show.
That's one of the good things about hot glue. You can very easily clear it with a chisel or a knife. Or
Right, we can take a little blade and clear it off if we really
It's
want
really
to.
nice.
Yeah, this is amazing. I love the way this wood grain is going. It kind of looks like water actually, and the dragonflies like to live on water, so it's awesome. I might have to reference my picture again because I don't really remember.
This is the piece that takes time because
Right.
you need to arrange.
Arrange your pattern, figure out what you're going to
Way.
do.
You want it to look, and you can change it around until you glue it.
Right.
So
And-
make sure you're happy with the way it's laid out.
Yeah, and if you've got a lot of the same type of wines, you want to try to distribute your labels kind of evenly so you don't have the same things all up against each other.
And we have lots of different types of wine corks.
We do.
We like to try different things. And like we said before, these are ones we've actually tasted and used. We didn't buy these corks. They came as an extra accessory.
Bonus
with-
to the wine.
Yeah. And as you notice, Elpida is putting if there are words or pictures on the corks, she's putting them in the same orientation. Like, for example,
Right.
this is the bottom of our picture, so she's putting them in the orientation that this is the top and this is the bottom. So we're going to continue making this same pattern so that we can, it's the design
Mm-hmm.
and configuration that's going to work all the way around. So now we're using the same hot glue process to fix the cork pieces into their spot.
Mm-hmm. really makes it almost instant. Only thing you gotta worry about is the hot glue hairs. And this is probably the part that takes you the longest. Laying them out, gluing them. You see, I got my curl people.
Ah. Lucky.
Right?
I wonder which brand that was.
We know which brand, but it's for me. I think the brand was actually like Estancia or something.
Oh yeah. Makes sense. Okay. Well, we're gonna keep going until we have more of this covered with cork. As you can see, we're making a lot of progress. Peter is varying the corks that she's using in each row, but definitely utilizing a resource that we have in plenty.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's coming together really nicely. All the colors play together, and it's not meant to be kind of the perfect project. It's meant to have character and gaps and different sizes and colors.
And honestly, for me, like when we look at all these corks, then it just brings to mind like times we've spent together, enjoying each other's company and enjoying some wine.
Definitely a lot of our favorites, and even some that we didn't care for as much, but they're all here represented.
So as you can see, we've got some little spaces up here where we need short corks, and we had already used the bandsaw to cut some just in half, and so I'm using this little handsaw to cut them to size here. It's a very small Japanese handsaw, which is really nice. It has a very small kerf and does a really great job.
For the detail work.
Yes. And these things are just flying. I think my fingers are getting a little bit numb being outside. It's a little chilly today.
But you've got hot glue to warm them up.
Not the way you want to warm up your hands, just as an FYI.
Almost there.
Hot glue is hot though. Hot glue is hot. Oh look, we have supervisors.
Wow, yeah, they've joined the party, and they're making sure that we are hurrying up this
Right.
project.
Folks, we reached the end of our project, and our total cost for this project was exactly $0.00. We have becoming very good in using scrap, but even if you were to buy this material, this will not be more than a $15 project, which probably you can sell on Etsy for $100 easily.
Would sell for way more than $100 on Etsy.
So we're very, very pleased with the outcome. And again, your creativity here can change a lot of the details, right? Well, folks, we definitely enjoyed this project, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, we'll appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, what's wrong with you? No, if you didn't, 2 thumbs down, right?
Right.
Share, like, subscribe. Let us know if you like this project and you would like to see more projects like this in future episodes. From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida and the Urban Homesteading Channel, stay safe, put your masks on, get vaccinated if you've not done so, keep your social distance, so we're going to see you again next week with another project. Farewell, friends.